I'm Becky Safe. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Harmonic series. What's Harmonic series? In this video, I'm going to give you a rundown of what Harmonic series is and just show you a few demonstrations. And then I'm going to show you how you can use it to your advantage in order to synthesize sounds. I'm going to show you how you can synthesize a bell and a sub bass. The timestamps are below in the description, so you can skip back and forth to your favorite section. And before we get into the video, I just want to ask a personal favor. I've started posting again on my Instagram, which used to be a huge part of me as an artist in the drum and bass industry. So if you do want to catch up on all things to do with me on social media, if you do have Instagram and you want to give me a follow, please click this application somewhere on the screen. The link to my Instagram will be below in the description as well. Yay! Social media! Part of being an artist. Let's jump into the video, and firstly we're going to discuss what is Harmonic series. So in Ableton, here I have Vital. Vital has a basic shape sine wave, that's all it has, and a MIDI note. If I play this, we will see in span what appears. What's going to appear? Oh, surprise! Ta-da! Okay, so this is what is outputting from Vital. If we hover over it, you can see that it's an A4, and A4 is actually, if we get it exactly right, is 440 hertz. There you go. A4, 440 hertz. And that is the tonal fundamental frequency that is coming out of Vital. Now, we don't have any other harmonics in this picture, so we're going to introduce them using the Harmonic series wavetable in Vital. So back into Vital, and we're going to activate Oscillator 2, and then we're going to come down onto Factory and Harmonic series. Now at the moment, this is exactly the same shape as the shape above. But if we move the slider here, you'll see that we are having more instances of sine waves over the course of that time, which means that this wavetable now is going to be outputting a higher frequency. But it's a higher frequency in the Harmonic series relative to Oscillator 1. So back into span, this is our tonal fundamental frequency. Now, if we turn off hold and press play again, you can see that there is another frequency here. And this is actually the uppermost Harmonic series frequency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the slider down so that we have the next harmonic in the series. Okay, so that should be it. So you can see here now we have two instances of sine wave in the same amount of time as we have one instance of a sine wave. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio. And this is where we dive deep into the world of mathematics. So 2-to-1 is the first harmonic in the series, and then 3-to-1 is the next harmonic. So let's have a look at what these two waves alongside each other look like now. Okay, so we have the first, which is our fundamental at 440 hertz. And if we hover over the second, we can see it's an A5. It's 880 hertz. I got it at 881. So it's double. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. So if we go back into Vital and we now increase this, so you have 3 instances of a sine wave as opposed to 1. So it's a 3-to-1 ratio. We're going to be multiplying that 440 hertz now by 3. So let's play this. And you can see that because I didn't get it exactly on the exact positioning, what we've got is we've actually got the fourth in the Harmonic series appearing as well. But this one here, this is our third. If we hover over this, it's actually an E, and that is our 440 hertz times by 3. So we've gone from an octave, which is a 2-to-1 ratio, then we've gone to a perfect fifth, A, B, C, D, E, 5. And if we look at this, which is our fourth that just slightly appeared here, this is an A6. And you can see that the gaps are getting closer and closer together between these upper harmonics. And that is just going to shorten and shorten the more that you get up the scale. So these harmonics in the series, or overtones, are creating the characteristics of our sounds. And the original harmonic in the scale, the fundamental, that is telling you what the pitch of the instrument is. is, and the rest of them is making up that characteristic, that timbre. And the spaces between the harmonics in the series are known as integer multiples of the original frequency, meaning that they are whole numbers multiplied in 2-to-1 ratio, 3-to-1 ratio, 4-to-1, infinite, 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 until you can't actually hear them. And this is how sound naturally occurs, because it's perfect math, and our brains love perfect math. That's what music production is all about. Maths. I bet you didn't know that when you first got into it. I didn't know that. Now I've suddenly become physicist. All right, let's look at a sample, a bell, so we can see the picture of these harmonics in series. So I'm going to play this and I'm going to freeze span so we can see what the picture looks like. So the first in the series is our fundamental. It's actually lower than the rest of the harmonics, but fear not, this is our tonal pitch. And if we hover over it, we can see that it's a C3. If we come to the next one, which should be an octave jump, 2-to-1 ratio, we can see that this is a C4. And then the next one should be a perfect fifth. So if we hover over it, it is a G4, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, it's a fifth. And you can see as we get further and further up, these harmonics are getting closer and closer together, and then you get to the upper frequencies and there's just loads of them. And another thing to note, which is also adding to the pitch of this instrument, is that the jumps, the first one from 1 to 2 is actually an octave jump. So you're getting 2 instances of C. And then if you jump again, eventually you're going to find another C. And you'll find C's dotted around, meaning that the overall picture of this sound is in the pitch of C, and the harmonics actually help and assist and facilitate that original fundamental frequency. Now I'm going to show you how you can use the harmonic series wavetables in Vital so that you can make your own bells and sub basses using harmonic series. And if you're new to the concept of harmonics, check out my saturation versus distortion video where I go into harmonics in a little bit more detail, such as the relationship between odd and even harmonics. All right, let's synthesize our own bell in Vital. So the first thing we're going to do is get a sine wave. We're going to come down onto factory and basic shapes. And this is the purest wave. It's the smoothest periodic oscillation. It's going to give you a pure tone. So this is now just one oscillation of your basic shape sine wave. We're going to bring the phase down to 0 so that there's no phase randomization. And then we're going to come over to envelope 1. This is our master envelope, and we're going to bring the sustain down and the release out. So now if we play this, you can hear that by having that long release, you're ringing out that sine wave, and it's starting to already sound quite like a bell. So oscillator 2, and we're going to add in our harmonic series. So factory and harmonic series. At the moment, still the same, but we're going to bring it all the way up to the highest frequency, and the phase randomization down. Now we have that really high pitch frequency on oscillator 2. We're going to bring the level down a little bit because we don't want it to interfere or be louder than our original oscillator. And then we're going to send both of them to filters 1 and 2. Come down to filter 1 and we're going to come to ladder and BPN. And this is now isolating that bell tonal frequency, and we're going to increase the key tracking up so that whatever key we now play on the keyboard, this filter is going to move. Next, we're going to activate filter 2, and we're going to come down to comb and low-high comb. Drag on the slider on the right and you can change the resonance. So now you can really push up lots of different frequencies in this sound. Next, we will activate the sampler, and we're going to keep it on white noise. We're going to send this to filters 1 and 2, bring the level down and activate key tracking as well so that this moves when you're pressing on the keyboard. And then we're going to come to envelope 2 and we're going to create a pluck shape, bringing the sustain all the way down and the release. And then we're going to add this envelope 2 to our oscillator 2 level, bring the amount down and onto the noise on the level as well and bring the amount down. And what this is going to do is going to create that hammer hitting sound that you would naturally get if you hit a bell. So that's why using the harmonic series and using one of the most upper harmonics in the series, you're getting that transient hit from the hammer using the envelope 2 on the level. So that's all we're really using it for. Next, we're going to add some effects. So we're going to come into the effects tab and we're going to add distortion, chorus, and compression. We're going to bring the distortion up before the chorus, and we can also add our envelope to the drive on the distortion as well. So we're getting that pluck on the distortion. Let's bring the amounts down. And if we take a look in span, so that's a combination of using additive synthesis by adding harmonics in the series, and then subtractive synthesis using comb filters, and then more additive synthesis and more subtractive synthesis. It just all goes a bit mental. But yeah, that's how you would create a bell. Now, this is just one way to introduce harmonics in the series. Another way you could do it is by going into the wavetable, clicking on the pencil, and these are all your harmonics in the series, and you can see that you change the wave shape here by introducing those harmonics. But we're not doing that today. We're using the harmonic series wavetables from Vital. But if you do want to check out ways to introduce harmonics into a sub bass, check out my fattest sub bass video as I go into synthesis of subs using the wavetable editor. Let's sound design a sub bass using the harmonic series wavetables. So the first thing we're going to do on this patch is get our pure sine wave. So basic shapes, pure sine wave, and then we're going to drop this by 2 octaves. Now, instead of just dragging up and down, if you hold down on shift and drag, you can just come down 2 octaves on your oscillator. And now let's play this. So this is now a lower frequency than what we had before with the bell. We're going to bring the phase randomization down to 0 as well. I'm going to come down another octave because it's just not low enough. There you go. There's your sub. That's our first harmonic in the series, the fundamental, the pitch of our sub. Next, we're going to add the harmonic series wavetable. So we're going to come into harmonic series, and we're just going to increase it, not all the way, increase it so that there's 2-to-1 ratio. So we're now getting the second harmonic in the series. We're going to bring the phase randomization down to 0 on this as well, and we're going to activate oscillator 3. We're going to come to harmonic series, and we're going to introduce the third harmonic, so 3-to-1 ratio. I'm sure you can see here, it is clear as day. We have a 2-to-1 ratio and a 3-to-1 ratio. All of these are going to go into filter 1. And I just need to bring the phase randomization down to 0 so that it just doesn't randomly trigger every time. All of these waves are working from the same start position on all of the oscillators. As we've dropped the first oscillator by -36, we need to get these 2 wavetables to the same octaves, so -36 and -36. And now let's play. And you can see that our upper harmonics are at the moment peaking above our fundamentals. So we need to bring the level down on both of them and get it into a balance where we have our sub nice and thick with our additional harmonics. Okay, so that's a nice balance of the harmonics. You can hear that there's a little bit of a click, so we're going to increase the attack. And then you may want to look at adding in your transient for your sub bass. And I do go into that in my sub bass video, so do make sure you check it out. But I'm not going to go into that in this video because we're just talking about the harmonic series. And these are all going into filter 1. So activate filter 1. And then we're going to come to the LFO and we're going to create a slope, like a ramp. And it's going to go onto envelope mode. And it's going to be a 2-to-1 ratio. And we're going to add this LFO1 onto the filter cutoff of our filter. Bring the resonance down so that it's not peaking, and then play. So now you're getting this sweep as the filter is opening and closing. We could also add this LFO to the drive as well so that we're pushing up this filter. And then to finish it off with your sub bass, you add some distortion. And we could also add LFO1 onto the drive of the distortion as well. Finally, just some housekeeping. You want to make sure that your voices is down to 1. Go to 1. Go down. Go to 1. 1. 1. Why won't you go down? 1. Make sure your voices are on 1 and also on legato as you are creating a monophonic instrument. And you want it to glide between your notes on the keyboard. And that is how you would use the Harmonic series wavetables in Vital to add overtones to your sounds. That's just 2 examples that I've used in today's video. But now you know and understand the theory behind Harmonic series, you can use this to your advantage in sound design by creating a mathematically correct picture that humans will just love to listen to. Whether it be adding the wavetable above or below, you'll know that it is in mathematical integers, which is what we like to listen to. My name's Becky Safe. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you got something out of it, like it. If you want to see more, subscribe to it. And if you want to get in touch with me and say hello, please drop a comment in the comment section. I love to hear from you. And follow me on Instagram. Yay! Social media! Until then, thank you so much for watching this video. My name's Becky Safe, and I will see you for another one. Bye!